My name is Ambrose McNevin. Welcome to Data Center Nation. Today I'm joined by Himmath Mohammed. Himmath is the CIO at Gulf Data Hub, a leading colo provider for the Middle East and North African market. Himmath, welcome to Data Center Nation.
Thank you, Ambrose, and pleasure to connect with you on this platform this day with DCL.
Himmath, how would you profile market demand for data centers between the hyperscalers and the international players seeking to build digital platforms or cloud regions versus local companies in the region that want to looking for hosting for their own IT or digital infrastructure?
There was a huge rush from the enterprises or local businesses to migrate to these cloud providers, hyperscalers, to make sure their systems, applications are available all the time. Obviously, with the new government rules that data has to prevail within the country or within the region, all these hyperscalers are rushing to each region, hosting their POPs or nodes or infrastructure. So out of 100, if you say major capacity utilizers or hyperscalers, yes, the usual, you say Microsoft, Google, Oracle, AWS, these are the major power consumers or IT capacity consumers. Whereas these are driven by the requests coming in from the local market. So rest, maybe 30 to 40% is coming from the local market requirement to move to these cloud platforms so that their systems are highly available.
How would you profile the local digital economy? Say specifically within Dubai, how is that developing?
A couple of years back, they formed a Ministry for Artificial Intelligence, which itself makes us understand how seriously UAE and Middle East is taking digitalization and digital economy is a crucial part of the entire, per capita or the growth of the country. Especially with every systems now will be dependent on artificial intelligence. Whether you're driving a car, whether you're trying to do some market analysis, ultimately this is driven by data, and on top of it, artificial intelligence will help to improvise our efficiencies, pinpoint our requirements, focus on what enhancements to do. So digital economy is for sure driving and evolving Dubai economy a lot.
Just want to dig a little bit deeper into your operations. So data centers are about resiliency and they're about uptime. And so how does Gulf Data Hub approach data center design to assure customers that its uptime SLAs, service level agreements, will be met?
Good question. Thank you, Ambrose. Resilience and redundancy are more or less identical. Redundancy can be achieved by having multiple systems so that one system failure can be backed up by another. But for resiliency, you need to have your processes in place, how to tackle certain failover scenarios. Just building a redundancy system doesn't mean you should have that operation capability that in terms of, even though you design your uptime, you're certified, and you have N+1 configuration on your systems, but still, if your operations doesn't operate in particular procedures, in particular method of statements and compliances, you still will not able to achieve that resilience in your data centers. You can have uptime by having no single point of failure in all your electromechanical systems. But ultimately, it's all your planning, how you test your equipment for the worst scenarios. How do you do preventive maintenance? How do you do corrective maintenance? So at GDH, we follow very tough protocols. We do a lot of preventive maintenance. We do random failover scenarios. We artificially create disaster situations so that we have to test our systems are up to the 5 nines capability or not.
Thank you. Now, speaking more broadly, Dubai, as we touched on, is seeking to establish itself as a digital crossroads. So what infrastructure advantages does it have, and what challenges does it face?
Yes, there are many challenges, but I will talk about the good points first, the advantages. The country is very open for any new technologies. They, as a government, they support with a lot of infrastructure, with a lot of subsidies, they invite all hyperscalers, everybody to come and host here, providing space, land, power. It's like an incubator for any business to come and start their infrastructure here.
Tell me about some of the challenges.
Challenges, yes, there are few. If you see, especially data center is very power hungry, and you need a lot of power loads, which needs a lot of infrastructure to generate such power. So new technologies, especially sustainable initiatives, has to be incorporated, which a lot of initiations happen. Solar power, alternative fuel, these have to be incorporated, which are in the pipeline, but it's not matured. Like if you see a European market like Spain, or where they have the data centers there get 100% renewable energy, which is very good for the country. And apart from that, the weather conditions are very harsh here. How humid and hot it becomes in most of the months here, during especially summer, where it goes above 50 degrees.
And lastly, for companies such as yours in the commercial colo sector, when you look out 5 years away, how important and how recognized will the data center sector be to the Dubai economy?
It will play a major role, because more and more systems are being data driven, whether it's an automated car, or whether it's a manufacturing unit, or whether any platforms which run enterprises. All these should be hosted in a data center. They need an infrastructure provider, and that's where data centers play a major role, because we are the people who welcome this data to be hosted, and we assure them that this data is available 24/7.
Fantastic. Himmath Mohammed, CIO at Gulf Data Hub, thank you for speaking to Data Center Nation today.
Thank you, Ambrose.